Ask for the truth on behalf of Charlene Black concerning financial and career issues. Ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls, from darkness into light. And we just cut the deck like so, and we place Crow's tarot just to the side here. I think what we'll do, given the fact it's like one of those financial sort of questions, career, I thought I'll get this bag of dragon coins here. Instead of money bag of dragon coins, I'll just pop them over here, just pop them there like that, and see if they can induce a bit of financial prosperity there for you. What we'll do then, we'll deal out 3 cards. We'll deal out the first card is in the position of your recent past. The next card is in the position of your present. And then of course the next card is in the position of your immediate future. Just there, look. So what we're going to do is we'll pull out the first card. The first card, remember, is the recent past. This energy vibrates with around about the past 3 or 4 weeks or so. But of course it was about financial and career issues. So it's what it vibrates with your financial situation, and the energy or the interpretation or meaning of this card is relevant to that. And there you've got the 7 of Swords. Aquarius energy going on there with you. Of course, Swords is part of the 56 minor arcana cards, because in the tarot you got 2 decks really. In the tarot deck you got the 78 cards, and the first 22 cards from 0 to 21, that's the esoteric tarot or the major arcana, and then the minor arcana or lesser arcana is the 56 elemental deck. I call it the elemental deck because it's air, fire, water and earth, isn't it? And you've got the air, the suit of air as you could call it, or the suit of swords, or this is where your ordinary playing cards come from, the minor arcana. Just with your playing cards, it's your minor arcana cards minus 4 cavaliers, or 4 knights, or knaves as they often call them. No, it isn't. It's knights. Knaves is the page, isn't it? Page, yes, knaves, because you've got the page. The page is the jack. The knave or the knight is non-existent. You take that out, and then you just have the queen and king, don't you? Of course, Crowley calls the king. He calls that the knight. And then the knight is the prince. So it's princess, prince, mother, father, so to speak. Princess, prince, queen and knight in that sense. But we're not doing it with Crowley. We're doing Crow's Magic Tarot by London Arcs, using Crow energy here. And I thought, like I say, we'd just put some Chinese dragon coins here, a bag of them there for you, just to see if that can induce anything. Best of luck. But anyway, you never know. You never know. This is what happens, isn't it? Anyway, back to this first card here in your recent past. You've got the 7 of Swords. Now, 7, the number 7, is to do. It's really weakness. They say lucky 7, but actually it isn't that lucky really. From some standpoints, it's weakness really. And now 7, any number between 4 and 9, that's the numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, that's to do with water, because number 1 is to do with fire, spiritual essence. The numbers 2 and 3 are to do with air, which is what the Swords is, so that's to do with mental and moral qualities, creative and transmissive powers. And then of course your water, your element of water are the numbers 4 to 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, that's mental and moral qualities. And of course earth is to do with the physical vehicle. Anyway, we're here with the I suppose you could say the 2 and 3, the element of air, creative and transmissive powers. And because you've got the water there, 4 to 9, mental and moral qualities, you could actually say mental and moral qualities of creative and transmissive powers, couldn't you? Or you could say the watery part of air. This deck tends to focus, because its weakness, the 7 of Swords, often Crowley calls the 7 of Swords the Lord of Futility. Whereas, of course, maybe this deck seems to be a bit more optimistic in the sense it's talking about things being cultivated and things being prolific. In the sense, I always tend to call this card the, I don't know, is it like the ploughing the field, ploughing the field and scatter sort of card, in the sense of you've recently been cultivating something from a career point of view, remember, because it's your career and your finances. You've been cultivating, like ploughing the field. Now, of course, with the harvest that comes after is a bountiful harvest. But when just after you've ploughed the field, after the farmer ploughs a field, it's just an empty field, isn't it? Just with furrows in and maybe some seeds if you planted them. But nothing's happened. But in a way, if you view that, you could either say, well, it's especially a bit like as the cup half full or half empty, in the sense of the seeds are a potential harvest, aren't they? So whatever you've got ready for, as you would say, I suppose you could call that the getting ready for card, couldn't you? In some way or other. Although I suppose really the 2 of the 2 of Swords is more to do with that, isn't it? But in the sense of, although it's weak, it's strong, isn't it? Although it's not many, it's a lot at the same time, because you can see the potential. I suppose you could call it the potential card, couldn't you? From a creative and transmissive point of view, of course, it's communication, as it air is communication, and also knowledge. Sometimes a suit of swords, they say, comes from the sword that Solomon used when it's to do with justice, in the sense of when the 2 women were arguing over the child. That's my child. No, it isn't. It's mine. So Solomon said, OK, I'll get the child. I'll chop it straight down the middle, and you can have half, and you can have half. And one of the women shouts, no, let her have it, let her have it. And he says, right, you're the proper mother, because no mother would allow a child to be chopped in half. So that's how it represents justice, I suppose, to some degree. And then maybe this is what you've been trying to do, to justify something as well, maybe, possibly. But it's more to do with just communicating. Communicating a potential harvest, something prolific, something big to come later on. Although you can't see now, you sort of know it's there, but it will be there because you believe in destiny, not fate. Do you believe in destiny or not fate? If these coins have anything to do with it, you never know what's going to happen, do you? If you went on the lottery, just remember who gave you the reading. Laughing and joking apart, of course, we do these for free of charge. The readings are free of charge. What bountiful harvest you give me from your lottery wins has nothing to do with anybody else. But that's neither here nor there, nothing to do with this. But moving on. I just thought I'd pass the hint. Just moving on though. Notice there you got the bird there. Like the bird, the wings and that there. And of course Crow is king in this deck, isn't it? Because it's the Crow's Magic Tarot by Londa Marks, the High Priestess. And it's been going quite a lot. This deck actually I've had over 20 years, and since it came out, and I've got copies of this deck as well as backup. Never use them, because the best deck is a seasoned deck, the one with all the snot and the tobacco spit and coffee stains all over it and all the juice off your hands and everything. They give you the best readings. They're called a seasoned deck, and And of course, less about me, but more about you, in the sense of course, just recently, you and just recent past there, the birds. Now, we were on about the birds, weren't we? What's about the birds? Well, the birds offer guidance. Their spirits bring guidance, because they're thought to bring the message from the heavens to the earth. They bring messages from the heavens to the earth, from the gods or whatever, and they're thought to guide. So there's been guidance for you. Maybe somebody said if you invest money there, see how you're on about there, the money side of it, or even invest in a job, or it might not pay much now, but you never know later on. Or if you've got something that's worth something, you might sell at auction a bit later on down the line, when you're just about ready to pop your own clogs after your retirement. But nevertheless, you can leave it to whoever's left behind. Laughing and joking in part, though, less about that. There's been guidance there, and why I'm sort of focusing on this, somebody's giving you financial advice, although your finances have been weak in the sense of the 7 being the weakness, the futility of it. Nevertheless, you've been cultivating something, getting it ready for some prolific event in the immediate future, or maybe beyond, even for the long term. Let's see what's going on now, though. This is what recently happened. So maybe, of course, given that, let's just pull out the next card now, and we'll see where you are now, and what's vibrating with you now, what Magic Crow has to offer right now for you. Guidance. Not too good there. Well, remember the 10. It's the 10 of Wands. Got a Leo energy to that. The 10 of Wands, Crowley often calls the 10 of Wands the Lord of Oppression. This tends to focus on more to do with that sort of energy as well, in the sense that you're tormented right now. Notice, because it's like the 10, a bit, I just call it a bit like the blues, it's the turnaround, ready for the next cycle. But of course, at the end of things, when flames have been burning, because it's to do with element of fire, when flames are burning to the last core, so to speak, or they start, they're nothing but smouldering embers, aren't they? And it's that, as if that's sort of what, from a metaphorical point of view, is what's going on now. Although you're prepared for some harvest, or you've invested your money in something, or you've invested your time and money maybe, and you probably tried to get the job that you think will pay a bit later on down the line, or whatever, or you're just applying for that, or even education, even if back to the 7 of Swords there, even though you feel you might be in a weak situation, nevertheless, from a creative and transmissive power, more not so much to create the transmissive, but I suppose it's in the communicative side of it, but the creative side, thinking, getting an education and getting knowledge, because Swords is to do with knowledge as well, isn't it? And then, of course, moving on to the now, as you would say, moving forward to now, the embers are more smouldering embers. It's as if it's worn out its energy, and you're left, really, there's a touch of misery, really, at the moment going on. Maybe you feel as if you're trapped, maybe, but more misery than anything. Maybe oppressed in some way. You feel as though basically anything that can go wrong will go wrong at the most inconvenient time. That's Sod's law, isn't it, or Murphy's law, or whatever you refer it to there. And of course that sort of feeds off itself in the sense. Notice there you got the psychological fog or mist, as if things are not really clear anymore, because the smouldering embers have turned to smoke as opposed to burning the pure fuel. It's now smouldering, so it's turned to smoke. I get a feel as though this fog is more to do with smoke that can choke you, as opposed to just a fog that's come down and well left again. But smoke rises, heat rises, so it will rise eventually. Let's see how it manifests itself, because of course, notice the Leo energy there. Of course, we're on about the Leo. the Aquarian energy turns to Leo in the sense of, for as much as you've got this torment going on, nevertheless it's to do with control. Maybe somebody's trying to control you. That's what oppression is normally, isn't it? Even if it's a corrupt government that's doing it through the system that it's introduced because of the stupid people that elected it. That's assuming you're living in a democracy, if you get what I mean. But nevertheless, if it's the system that's getting at you, even if it's a close friend who needs enemies, but certainly if it's a member of the family, or it's just somebody else in your sort of in your peer group, or whatever you want to call it. I couldn't say that then, but it's that sort of thing where there's somebody there just trying to get at you, maybe pick on you, maybe try and get at you and control your life because they can't control their own. That's what bullies do, isn't it, normally? I've got a funny feeling you've probably been bullied at the minute, by circumstance or by people, but it's usually people that do the bullying, isn't it? It's an act of cowardice. But let's see how this manifests itself. Now, of course, the energy of this card here, in your immediate future, that's about a moon phase in front, where you were a moon phase behind there. This is about a moon phase in front, about the next 3 or 4 weeks or so, you could say. If it's a negative energy, of course, before we take a look at it, if it's a negative energy, then in a way it can be a positive one, I always say, because forewarned is forearmed. And of course, as I keep saying over and over again, if a positive one, you can become complacent and it can get ahead of you and turn into negative anyway. What? No, look at this. You've got the 9 of coins. Now, coins is to do with the element of earth. You've got Virgo there, the Virgin. So obviously something's starting there. Nevertheless, there's a lot of harmony to come. Crowley calls the 9 of coins the Lord of Happiness. Now, remember, with happiness, of course, happiness is the effect of happenings. So even though you may be as poor as a church mouse that's just been evicted from the belfry without any cheese and fallen off the balcony into a bowl of cat food, nevertheless, you can still have joy in your heart. So happenings is more to do, is irrelevant to joy, isn't it? Don't get mixed up between the two, joy and happiness. But this is to do with material happiness. Crowley, of course, the 9 of coins, actually, I think Crowley calls it the Lord of Strength, actually. I could be wrong. The Lord of Wealth is the 10. And of course, happiness there sort of combined with it. But in this case, it's to do with harmony, and also chemistry going on. Although it's not Leo, notice the lion there. The lions, of course, give courage. Spirits of lions give courage. And there are other cats there as well. You've got the jaguar that helps you reclaim what's yours. And the tiger. Remember the tiger, of course. Tiger, brother, he represents the willpower. Understand thou thine own will, love and let love, rejoice in every shape of love, and get thy rapture and thy nourishment thereof. And tiger, of course, maybe you will be called here. Spirit of tiger is obviously, they're just saying that you'll be called to take charge of a situation. And you're going to have to trust yourself that you're able to, trust in yourself that you're able to carry out this because of that. But with that, of course, with the 9, remember, is water, isn't it? Because 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 are to do with water. The 10 of wands there is to do with earth. So that's the earthly part of fire, or the physical vehicle of spiritual essence. With the 10 of wands, but of course with the 9 of coins there, Crowley, refers to that energy, and also Crow here, But the chemistry that's going on. Now, remember on about the lions and the jaguar and the tiger? They're all four-legged spirits, aren't they? Four-legged spirits walk on the earth, don't they? Like the birds over here, just recently you were guided by the spirits that carry the messages from the heavens to the earth, and you were given guidance. Although oppressed right now, there is protection to come, because the four legs protect, because they walk on the earth, so they're thought to be the protectors. So there's protection through courage and willpower, isn't there? And reclaiming what's yours, in the sense of, maybe that's why the crow, while Londermarks there refers to it more to do with harmony again, getting what's yours, and also the chemistry of maybe those three. And of course, you're there. The lion is courage, because you ask for what you want, so you're able to ask for what you want, take charge of the situation and reclaim what's yours, if you get what I mean. And the 9, remember, to do with the watery part, so that's mental and moral qualities of the physical vehicle. So doing what you feel is right to get what you want from a material point of view. Often the coins is referred to, or as Crowley calls it, discs, but it's to do with earth, it's to do with material, really, materialism, or material or physical, the physical vehicle. Not most, but some decks, like say Tarot and Marseille, calls it the money, like the 9 of money. So there is money there, of course, because that's to do with the physical sort of material assets there. So it looks as if these Chinese dragon coins there might be just transmitting something there for you through Crow. Through Crow, and Crow's magic there is bringing you some magic to just get ahead of the game from a material point of view, for as much as people can try and bring you down and oppress you and impose misery upon you and torment you with unnecessary bullying that's going on right now, because they saw you in nothing and you prepared already. A bit like I suppose you know, be prepared in that sense. You got yourself ready while they were mucking about and enjoying themselves with what they got. You were getting ready for what you're about to have. But you get the last laugh, don't you? Because at the end of the day, you get that happiness and you get that strength from that. Of course, that spiritual strength. Notice that I tend to focus on the foliage growing there, as if that's growth, financial, earthly growth. Because even a plant that grows, of course, is a physical thing, a bit like money or anything material. So, but it's the life force, isn't it? And the goddess will bring you the life force, providing you ask for what you want, take charge of the situation, and reclaim what's yours. Because I get a funny feeling right now somebody's trying to take it from you, but you were prepared to plant the seeds, and that's those. See the link there between there, and the sense of the cultivating, getting ready for the harvest, and the harvest taking growth, sprouting. You don't see it now. Everything seems to be oppressive right now, but it grows, and then you're able to feed from it and get a. And this is all going to happen rather quickly, I would assume, between now and this time next month. So around about mid-November. Let's just say, I think you might be having a nice Christmas. Let's just put it that way. But of course, you've got to be prudent, haven't you, at the same time? But that's, of course, the 8 of coins is the Lord of Prudence, isn't it? Where you bring knowledge, and we haven't got that one. So we've just got really the Lord of Gain there, or whatever, just bringing you. 9 is the peak of magic, so the peak of material goods there, or whatever, material assets. So whatever this career you're thinking of doing is, the money is going to start rolling. I mean, if this is a lottery, then please let me know, and we'll go halves, or whatever. I keep going back to that, but laughing and joking apart, then you never just know, do you? But let's hope the ball literally does start rolling. You're able to reclaim what's yours again. Ask for what you want. Remember, have the courage. Let ask lion and tiger and jaguar into your midst. Spirit of lion, spirit of jaguar, spirit of tiger. I ask for your presence, that you fill me with your essence and help me, and help me to ask for what I want. Help me to reclaim what is mine, and help me to take charge of the situation, for it's about to take hold of you, isn't it? And it's about to grow. So with that then, it looks as though that those seeds that you planted last month are about to grow. But yes, we're just going through a bit of, yes, okay, shit happens, but that's just in the interim while we wait for the sun to rise. Tomorrow's sunrise is the beginning of the rest of your life, isn't it? So with that, Charlene, these cards have spoken.